Hari Om. In the elective course Information Security, I welcome you all for the second part of Substitution Cipher. In Module 2, we are currently discussing the traditional symmetry key cipher. In our previous video, we have already covered the basics of symmetry key cipher, the Kirchhoff principle which is adopted for the symmetry key cipher, not only for symmetric key cipher, for all the crypto system. And we have also discussed the cryptanalysis part for the symmetry key cipher. We are currently discussing the two broad categories of traditional cipher, in which we have seen what is substitution cipher and what is transposition cipher. In our previous video of substitution cipher part 1, we have covered the monoalphabetic cipher. In this video, we are going to talk about the polyalphabetic cipher. Polyalphabetic cipher is the one where any cipher based on substitution using multiple substitution alphabets. If the substitution uses multiple alphabets for the same letter of a plain text, then we call it as polyalphabetic cipher. The polyalphabetic cipher uses the method of this particular kind, or it may use a Wigner table, which we will be discussing later. So let us see what is polyalphabetic cipher. Here, each occurrence of a character may have different substitution. We have already seen an example of hello, in which if it is polyalphabetic cipher, the letter L will be substituted with different characters each time, whereas in the monoalphabetic, L will be replaced by same character for all the L's that are available in the plain text, whereas if it is polyalphabetic, it will be replaced by different character. So that is what is specified here. Each occurrence of a character may have a different substitution. And here the relationship between a character in the plain text to a character in the cipher text is 1 to many, whereas for the monoalphabetic it is 1 to 1. Now these are the different types of polyalphabetic cipher we will be discussing. In this video we will be covering auto key cipher and Playfair cipher. Let us see what is auto key cipher. This is a simple polyalphabetic cipher. Here, the key is a stream of subkeys in which each subkey is used to encrypt the corresponding character in the plain text. So here, the first subkey is a predetermined value which will be agreed between the sender and the receiver. That is what we have to note here. I repeat, the first subkey is a predetermined value secretly agreed between the sender and the receiver, whereas the second subkey is the value of the first plain text character, and the third subkey is the value of the second plain text character, and so on. So you can observe here the key value is a stream of keys in which K1 will be the first key value, which is a predetermined value secretly agreed between sender and receiver, whereas the second subkey is the first character of the plain text, and the third subkey is the second character of the plain text, and so on. So this is how the key here will be defined. Now here what we have to understand, the name of the cipher auto key implies that the subkeys are automatically created from the plain text and the cipher characters during the encryption process. That is what we have to understand here. You can observe here the plain text P is series of characters P1, P2, P3 and so on. C is the ciphertext which has a series of characters C1, C2, C3 and so on. And K is also a series of subkeys, or you call it a stream of subkeys, where K1 is a predetermined value. P1, P2, P3 are the plain text characters in the order. Right? And here the encryption process uses the additive cipher, which we have already discussed. So the character ith plain text character will be added with the ith key or let me put it this way, subkey, ith subkey, and the modulo operator applied with 26, which will be producing the ith ciphertext character. And the decryption process will be as usual. The ith ciphertext will be subtracting the ith subkey with the modulo operator on 26 and will be producing ith character of the plain text. So this is the process that is used in the auto key cipher. Let us see an example here. Let us assume that Alice and Bob are the senders and receiver, and they have agreed to use an auto key cipher with the initial key value K1 equal to 12. Now Alice wants to send a message to Bob, attack is today. This is the message she wants to send, and the enciphering is done character by character. Now if you observe here, the plain text will be attack is today, and these are the values, P value, right? So this is P1 and this is P2, P3, P4, P5 and so on. So P1 is A and the corresponding integer value. We have seen that for the substitution cipher, Z26 will be used as a set of characters. So the key stream will be, the plain text values will be the corresponding integer values of these characters. And the key stream value you can observe here, the initial key value is 12 and P1 will be taken as the second subkey. So P1 here is 0, 0, so second subkey is 0, 0. P2 will be the third subkey, P3 will be the fourth subkey, P4 will be the fifth subkey, and this one will go to the subkey. 10 will be the next subkey, 8 will be the next subkey, 18, 19, 14, 3, 0. So these are the stream of subkeys that we are going to use for the encryption process. And then it follows the additive cipher. So what happens? 0 added with 12 will give you 12. 12 mod 26 is 12. So 19 plus 0, 19. 19 mod 26 is 19. 19 plus 19 is 38. 38 mod 26 will be 12. This is again 19. 2 plus 0, 2 mod 26 will be again 2. 10 plus 2, 12. 12 mod 26. 18 mod 26. 18 plus 8 is 26. So 26 mod 26 will be 0. 19 plus 18 will be 37. So 37 mod 26 will be 11. And again 14 plus 19 mod 26 will be 7. 14 plus 3, 17 mod 26 is 17 and so on. So these are the ciphertext integer values. We convert all these ciphertext integer values into characters. So this becomes the ciphertext using the auto key cipher. Now let us see what is the cryptanalysis part of AutoKey cipher. The AutoKey cipher definitely hides the single letter frequency of the plain text, but however it is vulnerable to the brute force attack as the additive cipher. Why? Because the first subkey can be only one of the 25 values 1 to 25. So we need a polyalphabetic cipher that hides the characteristics of the language but also have a large key domain. So if the key domain is larger enough, we can protect the message from the brute force attack also. So the AutoKey cipher hides the single letter frequency, so there is no statistical attack happening in the AutoKey cipher, but since the first subkey can be only one of the 25 values, it is vulnerable to brute force attack. So how do you protect it from the brute force attack? We can have a larger key domain so that we can protect it from the brute force attack. So that's what you have to understand in the AutoKey cipher. Now the second cipher is what you call as a Playfair cipher. This is a very interesting cipher. The Playfair cipher or Playfair square, we call it as Playfair square, which is used for the encryption process. So sometimes it is also called as Playfair square, or it is also known as Wheatstone Playfair cipher. But this cipher is a manual symmetric encryption technique and was the first literal that used digram substitution cipher. So this is the cipher which uses digram for the substitution. Now this scheme was actually invented by Charles Wheatstone, but bears the name of Lord Playfair for promoting its use. Let us see an example here. This is an example of a secret key in the Playfair cipher. So this kind of a matrix of characters will be used in the Playfair cipher. Assume that this is the secret key that I am going to use for the encipherment process. You have rows and columns of characters arranged as a matrix. So this is having a 5 by 5 matrix. And since we have 26 characters, I and J can be put together in the same cell. Now, if I want to encrypt a plain text hello using the above key, this is how we are going to do. The HE, right? Because we have seen that Playfair cipher is a digram substitution cipher. So the entire plain text will be divided or split into diagrams. So when I split it into diagrams, I will have HE, the first two characters together, the next two characters together, and so on. So since the next two characters L, L are same, what we are going to do, this L will be padded with a character, a dummy character, or you call it as bogus character, and then we have LO. Observe here, it is split into HE, L are same, so we are going to introduce a bogus character in between X. So we will have HE, LX and LO. So HE will be converted into EC, LX will be converted into QZ, LO will be converted into BX. So for the plain text hello, we will have the cipher text this one, right? So let us see how this is to be carried out. How we get the cipher text using this Playfair cipher. Let us see the procedure. So your Playfair cipher encryption technique has two steps. One, we have to generate the key square. Then the second one, encrypt the plain text using the key. These are the two steps that we have to do for the Playfair cipher. And we have to understand the Playfair cipher is used by the British Army during World War I. Please make a note of it. The Playfair cipher is used by the British Army during World War I, and the secret key will be a 5 by 5 matrix with letters I and J in the same cell. So this kind of 5 by 5 matrix must be generated as the key square. That is the first step. Then the second step, we have to encrypt the plain text. Now let us see an example. How to generate the secret key. So for generating a secret key, I am going to have a term as monarchy as the key value. So this is going to be the key value which will be agreed upon between the sender and the receiver. Now we are going to drop these letters into the matrix. These characters will be dropped into the matrix for generating the key square. Okay. So we are going to take this example. Key value, we have decided it is going to be monarchy, and the plain text will be the instruments which we want to encrypt. First, let us generate the key square. So for generating the key square, we have already seen monarchy is the key term, and these are the initial entries that will come in the 5 by 5 matrix. So I will have MONARCHY. So this is the secret key I have already dropped into the matrix. Then it will be followed by remaining characters of A to Z. Observe here, it must be followed by remaining characters of A to Z with I and J in the same column. Right? Now in the same order. So I have the characters A to Z. A is already there in monarchy, so I start with B. C is also there, so you remove C and have D. Then A, B, C, D is there. After D, E, F, G, H is there in monarchy, so H is not included. H, I, J, I and J will be put in the same column here. K, L, M is already there. N is already there, O is also there, so you will have P, Q, R is already there, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y is already there, so Z. So this is how we are going to generate the key square for the Playfair cipher. Then in step 2, we go for the encryption process. So for the encryption process, what we have to do, the plain text is split into pairs of 2 letters, which you call as digrams. If there is an odd number of letters, then a Z or X, whatever bogus character you want, you can have that is added to the last letter, right? And in the same way, if you have 2 characters same, then you can introduce a bogus character in between, right? So let us assume this is the plain text which I want to encrypt. So I am going to split it into digrams. So you will have in ST, RU, MENT, S, and after S there is no character, so you are going to add a bogus character Z, right? So in the previous example for hello, we have added a bogus character as X. But here I am going to have the bogus character as Z. So it depends on the designer. Then what are the rules for encryption? Let us see. Now if both the letters are in the same column, we are going to take the letter below each one, going back to the top if at the bottom. Whereas if both the letters are in the same row, then take the letter to the right of each one, going back to the leftmost if at the rightmost position. If neither of the above rules are true, you form a rectangle with 2 letters and take the letters on the horizontal opposite corner of the rectangle. So these are the 3 rules we have to follow for the encryption process. Right? So let us see the example how these rules work. So these are the examples I have noted. So first we are going to take IN. I repeat the rules for encryption here. If both the letters are in the same column, we are going to take the letter below each one. Let us see an example for this. I am going to take M and E, right? So I have M, E as a diagram in the plain text. Let us take ME for this particular rule, right? M and E. So if you observe the key square, M and E are in the same column, right? So if it is in the same column, what we have to do? We have to take the letter below each one. Letter below each one. So C is below M. So M will be replaced by C. L is below E. So L will be replaced, E will be replaced by L. That is what the rule says if both the letters are in the same column. M and E are in the same column. Take the letter below each one. So for M we take C, for E we take L. That is rule number 1. Going back to the top, if at the bottom. Suppose say for example, if you have the character U as the plain text, so we'll go to the top for the below character. So U will be replaced by M. If you have U as the plain text in your example or in your message to be encrypted. So for U, there is no letter below U. So what we have to do? We go back to the top if the character is at the bottom. Now the second rule says if both the letters are in the same row. Let us take the example ST. ST is there in our plain text. So how to encrypt ST? ST diagram is in the same row, correct? So ST is in the same row. If so, what we have to do? We have to take the letter to the right of each one. Oh, what are the characters we have at the right of each one? For S, the character at the right is T, and for T, there is no character at the right. Upon what we have to do? We have to go back to the leftmost if at the rightmost position. So T is at the rightmost position. So we go to the leftmost. So T will have the next rightmost character as L. So S will be replaced by T and T will be replaced by L. Now the third rule says if neither of the above rules are true, then we have to form a rectangle with two letters, right? Let us take an example of N and T. So in the plain text we have NT. Now N and T, we form a rectangle here. And we take the letters on the horizontal opposite. So R is the horizontal opposite of N. Q is the horizontal opposite of T, right? In the intersection. N and T in the intersection will be taken here, and here N and T intersection will be taken. So which will give you the character to be replaced for the ciphertext. Okay. So this is how these three rules are used for encrypting the plain text. So let us see the example now. How this instruments is encrypted using the Playfair cipher. So we have already seen the key square is this one. This is the key square we are going to use. So all the diagrams are using the same key square, correct? Now I have IN. So IN is not in the same row, not in the same column. They are in different rows and columns. So we form a rectangle here. Then the opposite will be taken. So for n, it will be replaced with a, and for I will be replaced with g. So I is replaced with g, n is replaced with a. Okay. Then the next diagram is ST. So ST are in the same row. If so, we are going to take, what is the rule? If it is in the same row, letter to the right. So the letter to the right of S is T. So S is replaced with T, and the letter to the right of T is L. So we will get L. The next diagram is RU. Again, R and U are in different rows and different columns. So we form a rectangle here. So the opposite of R is M. Opposite of U is Z, horizontal opposite. So we will have MZ. Then for ME, we have already seen it is in the same column. So we are going to take the letter below the character. So you will take CL. So you will get CL here. And for NT, it is going to be again in different cells. So we are going to take the horizontal opposite of these two characters. So N will be replaced with R, T will be replaced with Q. Correct? Then we have SZ. Again, SZ are in different rows and different columns. So form a rectangle and the horizontal opposite will be taken. So S will be replaced with T and XZ will be replaced with X. So this is how we are going to do the encryption process with the Playfair cipher. Okay, now if you observe the Playfair cipher, the key here is a stream of subkeys in which the subkeys are created 2 at a time, correct? 2 at a time, because we use the diagram here. And in the Playfair cipher, the key stream and the cipher stream are the same. This means that the above mentioned rules can be thought of as rules for creating the key stream. Now the encryption algorithm takes a pair of characters from the plain text and it creates a pair of subkeys by following the above mentioned rules. So we can say that the key stream depends on the position of the character in the plain text. Okay. So that is how the encryption and decryption process is done for the Playfair cipher. And if you see here in the Playfair cipher, the crypt analysis of Playfair cipher, and here the brute force attack on the Playfair cipher is very difficult because the size of the key domain is 25 factorial. Correct? 5 into 5 matrix will be used. So 25 factorial will be the key domain, which is a larger key domain, and it also hides the single letter frequency of the plain text, right? Because it is going to use a polyalphabetic cipher. But here the frequencies of the diagrams are preserved. So therefore we can say the ciphertext only attack based on diagrams may be possible for the Playfair cipher. So that's about the Playfair cipher. And if you want, we can see the hello, how hello is encrypted here. If you see H and E are on the same row, If so, what we will do? We will take the character which is on the right of the character. So H will be replaced with the right character, which is E, and E will be replaced by C. So HE we will get EC. And the next one is LX. So you can see L and X are on the same column. They are on the same column. So if it is in the same column, what we do? We will take the letter below. So L will be replaced by Q and X will be replaced by Z. And then we have LO. So L and O are in different columns and different rows. If so, what we will do? We will form a rectangle. We will form a rectangle and we will take the horizontal opposite of each other. So the horizontal opposite of L will be B and the horizontal opposite of O will be X. So we will get BX. So this is how a Playfair cipher can be used for encrypting a message that uses a 5 by 5 matrix as the secret key. Let us discuss the other ciphers and a polyalphabetic cipher in the upcoming video. Thank you.